release.
Oh, thank you.
Well, hello. You're
Not
welcome.
breathing right, right? It's not breathing right. So let's all take a deep inhale. Hold at the top. Open your lips. Lion's breath out. All right, now we're ready.
I love it. Might want to do a
Hello.
couple. Been a little hyper today. I just, it's that time of year, and we are learning a lot more as things come in. I am officially moving. I just found out the day of closing today, so right before we came together, so I was a little behind back there, but we're here now, and this is what we want to talk about, right? We just went through this intense, well, it's been since 2020, but the Scorpio season this last month. Okay, a lot of stuff is still coming up about that. A lot of stuff is going to continue to come up because Mercury doesn't station direct until the 29th, but
Saturn.
he's still in Scorpio at that time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, he goes into.
he doesn't go into Sag until.
I just had that, and I
Hold on, I got it
should have written
somewhere.
it down. I didn't write it down.
Okay, Mercury direct Scorpio, 20 degrees on the 29th. Mercury enters Sag on uh,
The
December
30th.
12th, December 11th, I'm sorry. December 11th, Mercury enters Sag. Yeah, because he's at 20 degrees on the 29th. So he's got to go 10 more degrees. And like you
Yeah,
said, he's going
yeah.
slow because now he's stationing.
I need to look at the 30th. Something is happening on the 30th besides that.
It's so crazy. We got so much to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at everybody here. Hi. It's so
Hey,
good to
hey,
see
hey.
you. Hypnicity, Bernadette's Desire, am I saying that right? Fox with a book. I love these names.
Annie
Penny, how are
Bear.
you? Yeah.
Hello,
Shooting
hello,
Star,
hello, hello.
Annie Bear, good to see you. Lauren Hunsiger, good to see you. Janet, thank you for always being there for me. She just supports me so much on my channel. I really appreciate her.
Awesome. Yes.
And Leah, good to see you.
Leah,
Wow.
Leah.
So Diana and I decided, well, we've been trying to do this, and it just, how things have been, that we wanted to come on once a week because there is so much astrology. There is so much going on. It's like we'd be here for hours if we could even, it would just be on and on and on. And it is exciting, and it is the closing down of an era as we are ready to enter a new era. But we're getting the information in now. Like you can feel a little lighter. I don't know. Do you feel a little lighter?
Well, I've just happened to look down, and Hypnicity says she can feel the energy. Yes, I can feel the energy. Uh, y- Lighter
Maria.
in my soul.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Not
absolutely.
so much on Earth.
You know, uh, the worry has stretched out. The worry has, like, the rubber band that's getting ready to break, and
Yeah,
you can feel that there's a sudden looseness,
yeah.
but then there's that one edge that's still pinching. It kind of feels like that, right?
I'm just so excited for the future, and now that we're getting that reprieve, right? That new, it's like an almost that it's new energy. I mean, you can see all the solar flares coming in, and
The moon is always busy, right? But
soon,
through these next, I mean, we got through these next few weeks. In February, we've already got eclipse season coming in. So through these next few weeks, we that moon is busy, busy, busy with everything because
yeah,
Sagittarius is so loaded.
yeah,
You know,
And tonight we're in an Aquarius moon, right? So
Right.
that gets you, like, you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking, oh, how can I make this happen? How can I rearrange this and do that? That's what, Aquarius is all about. Let's make it let's make it a smooth process, but let's make it efficient. They're
Right.
very efficient as they're outside the box, though. So you might have these ideas coming in, follow them, because that's our teams coming in
Well,
with all this new stuff.
right. He's just gone past she, the moon has just gone past she, Pele Athena. And lots of
Mm-hmm.
speeches today about the Epstein files.
Oh, really? See, I didn't watch any news today.
I
I,
didn't either. I just was in the interim of where's Valerie? I happened to catch a couple of things. I really hadn't watched any news today at all. And it
and
running this morning with the dogs to get groomed and get
well,
some
don't
groceries and
and going back to the 19th. I mean, it's just been one thing after another. The Epstein files, this, that, the next thing. I can't even keep up. There's so much that goes on in this, especially in that regime. It's just, it's enough to just frustrate you. So I always go do something you love, go do something you like. But I do keep track of it because let's face it, all these things have happened. NASA came out, digital ID, uh, outages, but the solar flares, the three
oh
eye
yeah.
atlas driving itself.
Well, and now the Swan is starting to behave just like Three Eye Atlas and getting a forward
Tail.
spray facing the sun, going towards the sun, just like Three Eye Atlas. So now it is starting to change shape and behavior and get that greenish cast to it, and Earth is green, though we see it as the blue planet when we're looking from the window of a spaceship or from a telescope. That's because there's so much water. But when the water is hitting the sun, it gets that greenish cast. How many times do you go to the ocean and see that? You know? So
And
that
there's
yellow that shines through, you
Did
know?
you see that? Also, that's an anomaly. Mr. MBB333, there's this really, that blue color that you just described in anomaly in the ocean and up by
Yeah.
Alaska, Russia, and then over, I think it was, I'm not exact, I think it was over near South Africa, and like that has never been documented before. There are so many things that have never happened before. Never. I mean, and we can attest to that with astrology since 2020. Most
Right.
of the last 5 years has never happened before, or it's been
Or
hundreds of
hasn't happened since it's been recorded. Let's put
things.
it that way.
Yeah,
Or found, because planets like Pluto were
yeah.
not known. The universe ended at Saturn, and some of those times we still thought everything was floating around the Earth. Got news for y'all. We're just part of the layer.
And Saturn stations direct tomorrow evening on Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has it. I'm very thankful that you all are here. We appreciate you coming and hanging with us. Because this is what really this is about. It's us being positive, thinking, okay, we're grateful. I mean, I'm extremely grateful for this community. I'm extremely grateful for my gifts, for Diana, for be able to have people to talk to about these things with in the way that we talk about them, right?
I love that. Yes, I'm jumping on that bandwagon.
Me too.
Extremely happy and grateful for the people who are interested,
Yeah, yeah. And
because just even if you're not catching on yet, don't worry, you're going to catch on.
and and we're the front runners, right? You have insight now about what is unfolding, right? And we have this ability, all of us do, to do the decoding, as we named the show, because it is about we look at these energies all the time and we try to make sense out of it, and we get downloads, we get information. Most of everyone in our community has that ability, thankfully. So and then when a few of us see the same thing or something similar, you're hitting on the right track. You know that your team is in bringing in the information that we all need to take this time period.
Well,
And it's been so hard. Now is the time that we're going to grow and create. But
I can use one of my experiences as an example for this, because many of you know about me and the green pickle, which is 3-eye atlas, and the 3 dreams that I had that were sequential, 3 days in a row, actually, just at different times. So it was a new day. Anyway, there's been more, but what was so important was the voice telling me, if you forget everything, remember. If there's nothing else you remember 1038, 1038, 1038. That was a code I needed to go find, and I was able to find that. And by finding that, I found the rest of the code, which is the way the grids are mapped out in the sky when you go to look for a planet. And we have to, or a star or a constellation, and we have to remember that these things overlap. Like the star Aldebaran is in the constellation of Taurus, but when we see it, it comes in at 9 degrees Gemini. So it is the layers and the way we look at things. That's why there is this difference between Western astrology and Vedic astrology, Eastern astrology, and they use a rectangle, and they use like 13 signs, where there is a 13th sign, but Western astrology just makes it easier and jam packs them into the 12 signs in a circle, because we look at things through these layers. Mm-hmm. So 9 degrees of Gemini is Aldebaran.
Can I say something about that, too? I mean,
what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Taurus is at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, but and Taurus is actually in Capricorn, the constellation of Capricorn, and the Aldebaran is actually the eye of Taurus. It's in Taurus, but from our angle, we don't see it that way.
When we're talking about the 2 different astrologies, when you're talking about Vedic, and I have nothing against Vedic or heliocentric or anything. Everybody comes at it from a different viewpoint, and what I like about it is that we can layer all those all that different information in and see a pattern, right? And this is the thing about people like Diana and I, who happen to just be able to decode astrology. I mean, intuitively. Mm-hmm. We get, it's a, I don't even know how to explain it. You just know, and you're showing you things and the highlights. I don't know. I get all kinds of stuff. And I know she does.
Well, it's remembering that it is Annie Bear. It's a 7-layer cake. It's a 7-layer grandfather conversation. It is a 7-layer.
At least
it is in layers. It is the 7 layers of our chakras, of which there are more, but we deal with them 7 at a time, right? And as we become more educated, open, assured of ourselves, and connected with our own DNA, with our own inner spinning Merkaba, we begin to see our higher chakras. We begin to work through and because of our higher chakras. And we learn how to accept and love where we're at and what's going on and who we're talking to and love each other where we're at, because we all have so much to bring to the table.
Right.
So much.
And everybody's got a piece of the puzzle, right? So, but we're naturally magnetized to the information that is for us. You know, immediately you hear this thing that nobody knows you were thinking or talking about, and you know it's your team bringing in more information about that thing, and it's just constantly being layered upon layered upon layered. Look at how Diana has all these dreams and can decode them, right? She draws them out. She gets them over and over again. She gets a lot of information that way. I don't get anything when I dream, but it's just we all receive our intuitions, our hits in our way, and we know what's for us because our team is feeding us what it is we are to be conscious about, right? And to make sense out of as best as we can. I mean, you got to think, guys, pat yourself on the back. All of you here are psychic and intuitive, and we've been decoding the energies since we were younger and really didn't know, even as kids that we were doing that.
Exactly.
And now with the veils thin, and these last 10 years you've really connected to who you are and how this comes into you. But I mean, it's almost impossible to sit here and explain the way I get some details, the way Diana gets. I mean, we'd be here a long time trying to convince each other or, enlighten each other on how we receive information. But when I say one thing and then Diana goes, yeah, did you see that too? And like I was just saying right before we come, I can't believe we got a Venus at 29 degrees on the 29th opposing Uranus. So that's going to be a big
Right, which is at 29 degrees of Mars.
and
of Taurus.
of Taurus. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Okay, so
Right, because
and it's on the 29th. I mean, all of a sudden you got 29, 29, 29.
well, because it's my 29-degree Mars in Taurus. That's why
Right,
that sort of
right.
spun it out. But it's not like you guys need more homework or something more to learn about. But
No.
this is
Mm-mm.
where the supergalactic center, the galactic center, the what are the other two things? Come on, quick.
Great attractor and the Shapley
And the
attractor.
Shapley attractor. The
Yeah.
attractors, the supergalactic center and the galactic center are wormholes. And they weigh a ton. And
It's
they
how
are so important.
it's
And
how we
this
travel.
and this is how it is part of our human design.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing where these four things are in your chart and how it affects your chart,
Mm-hmm.
you don't
Mm-hmm.
have to remember all of this, but knowing that they're there, you can
Mm-hmm.
begin to understand where your callings are, especially if you keep tripping over them. And they keep trying to get your attention because you're tripping over them. So those are things that you can look at to help you find where your inner calling is and
Yeah, I mean,
what you should do and what you need to let go of and all this north node, south node that we talk about all the time. That is so helpful with those things.
mhm. And I mean, that's just it. We
Yeah.
are layers and layers
Oh
and
my God.
layers of energy, right? We're just constantly. And
I
once
can
you know
see a
your chart,
Merkaba looking at
I
your life.
know. Isn't it cool? Every time I look down, I'm like, oh my God, that is
Yeah.
such a pretty
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
But
Zippy
we
kind
are.
of thing. Mine wants to show us the cat's cradle more than anything.
That's cool. What date? What date do you have
That's right now. That was just before we came out.
right
Well,
now?
no, this was
Okay.
at 4:30.
So
But that was
I
today at 4:30.
I made mine for the 29th. I was going to do it for
Oh,
today,
okay.
and that's
Okay.
why we're just a couple of days.
Well,
And I figured you
right.
would
And
have that today.
right. And we're
Yeah.
this is like the pendulum, right?
Yes.
Remember those swings on swing sets where grandma and grandpa could sit on the swing with you while you were trying to jump off and they would tell you, no, don't jump
Oh,
off.
I
Jump off.
love those swings. I
Right?
want
But they
one of
were
those
like
swings.
baskets,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that to me looks like that, but it also reminds me of the cat's cradle, and we have to grab the strings in the right way in order to get them on our hands the right way for our partner to come along and take the string and and get them on their hands the right way. And I could only get past the first three. Once I became an adult, it was like, I used to do this all the time. How come I can't remember it?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, just stuff like I never really got to play much as a little kid. I mean, I did, but I wasn't really. I don't know. I was serious. I was always serious. Always about business.
Not me. I was always being called Peter Pan.
Like I wasn't at anyway. It's crazy. What we're doing is recalibrating. We're being purified, and we're the ones who are choosing what that means, right, as we go forward. Because we all have a unique chart. We're all a piece of the puzzle. We all have our part. What makes your heart smile? Really, what makes your heart smile? Because we are in Sagittarius season. And just as Diana just said, there's the super galactic center. That's at 12 degrees Sagittarius. And then there's the galactic center, which is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. And that coincides with the new moon on Sagittarius on the 19th. And what happens that day, too?
I go
Atlas.
bionic.
Atlas. Yeah, it's coming right
I go
by.
bionic on the 18th, but it's perfect. It's perfection. It's all right at the same time. So
yeah, so she's having her surgery.
Yeah.
That's a big week. This is a big month. December right now. I mean, it's all big. It's all big, but it's just going to get bigger, and it is. And no offense to Diana, but as she's having that surgery, it is to help her sit down because she needs. I mean, we got to. You got to go inside with this energy. This is very important on what you're. It's going to help us all to go inside and know. But Diana, I joke her all the time. She can't sit still, and she's going to have to sit still for a couple of days. But as she's having that surgery, 3i Atlas is going on. It's a new moon in Sagittarius. A day later, it's the winter solstice. Big. I mean, we're talking big energies. Christmas is almost there. All of the holy days are right around there too, right? So it's a big month anyway. Let's just say the holiday season, and then add in the circus going on, the shit show out there, and that kind of is trying to put a damper on the holiday season and the people. But we know that there is so much more going on. That's why we wanted to come on and have these talks, because we read the energy. We all know that things are coming in, and they're coming in for humanity's highest potential, highest benefit. It is on. We are at the end of a 9-year, about to start a 1 year.
And we're going to go into the flaming horse.
I know, the fire horse. Oh my God, it's so cool. That's
the fire horse. Yeah. And
what day is that, Diana? 17th February, I think.
February. Yeah, it's the first weekend, or the first new moon in February.
Okay.
The first moon in Aquarius, right? The new moon in Aquarius is how.
It's so cool. And it's Aquarius too. Oh my God, that's right. Okay, I always forget that's on the first moon, Aquarius moon. That is so cool. Yeah. And that's when we're gonna really see things are moving in more positive direction.
Right, because all astrologies, just like those stars we were talking about and how they overlap and mingle with each other. The same thing with all of the astrologies. Just as we know that the Akashic is connected to all of it. These stories are not just based on visions of what the stars look like, right? These pantheons, there were people who looked like that on Earth. I love that. Yes, we all must be doing that. We are
Yep.
ready. We are done with this duality, and we
Yes.
are moving away from the duality because we are going into the age of Aquarius.
Yes, but we have to choose it, right? We have to choose that higher, that higher vision, that higher. Yeah, we're gonna always have contrast, but not in the respect that we have duality here. Is very raw, right?
Right. We have to keep in mind that Aquarius is about humanitarianism, and this is not Pollyanna. This
Mm-mm.
is about knowing when to detach from your own feelings and judge it for the greater good of all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
you can't stomp your foot and say, those are my potato chips. When your neighbor standing next to you is starving,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you share. You're both hungry, share. That is how you breed abundance.
Yes,
Pay
exactly.
it
Oh my
forward.
God, and that's so true, and that is kind of where America is going to be, as you see, and the more that is being thrown at us, the more we come together and unite. And that is that, like Diana said, that's how you create abundance. That's how you create a different reality. It's how you, and that's what we're doing, whether we know are doing it knowingly or not. We're it's natural instinct to get together to help each other,
Yep.
and that is that's what's really upsetting the lower frequencies, because they were banking on us fighting each other and hating each other.
Tracks.
Yeah, yeah,
The tracks
yeah.
that have invaded.
The dracs, the parasites, I call them the parasites, heartless, soulless. They're nasty, and I send them love, right? I'm not angry at them. It's just that we are at a point in humanity's history where we no longer have to coexist with them. They were very parasitic to humanity. And we're elevating out of that. That's why we're raising in frequency. They can't raise in frequency like we can. And
Yeah.
but that's their choice, right? We're making our choice, they're making their choice. Um, but this is the cool thing, right? It's all in the astrology. The astrology is helping us close down this 9 year. And this is why I was saying a minute ago how important it is to go inside this time. Go inside until after the holidays, especially. I mean, of course, do your thing and all that, but go in and really connect to your higher self, your team, and where's my next best step? Where's my path going?
Right.
Figure it
Leah
out.
is,
Go ahead.
Leah is talking about objectivity, and that is a good
Mm-hmm.
point to be made. And Millie said,
Mm-hmm.
always enough for everyone. Exactly. You know,
Exactly.
just go back to the roots.
Yeah.
We can eat roots.
And who
Our
put
half
everything
our
for
vegetables are roots.
sale? Right. And who put everything for sale anyway? Who put the water for sale and the food for sale? Mother Earth gives that in
Gives it
abundance
to us,
for
yes.
free. Yeah. And this is who I'm talking about. It's those that have went to, we're in late stage capitalism, and it's those who just want to profit off people to the detriment of the planet, to the detriment of all life. And you just look at them like, are you serious? Really?
The
Is it so?
detriment of the people.
Right. And they don't care. They will ruin Mother Earth, and I think
Well,
this is
it's
why
because they think they're getting off of Mother Earth and they're leaving us
they're,
behind.
they're, they're
Because
not.
they got the spaceship. They got the ship that's going to take them to the planet that's gotten prepared for them. I got news for you.
Mm-mm.
You got
There's
there. When you get there, there might be a big monster that looks like
there's
a
a
pretty flower, then gobbles your head.
kind of interference, yeah, interference coming through, because I mean, just what humanity had to endure just these last 26,000 years, right? That's a procession of the
It's
equinoxes. So
so scary
here,
when you say it like that.
I do. What I do? I get
No,
scared.
26,000 years.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, but think of how many lifetimes we had where we were just, I mean, enslaved. We have truly been enslaved here. This is the freest we've ever been, and that didn't start until the French and American revolutions, where a middle class was created. Before that, you were either royalty or had,
Or a peon.
means, yeah,
Or a
or you
peon.
were nothing, yeah. And they
Exactly.
could see they owned you. I mean, you're a
You
slave. They
know,
could do anything to you.
I just got done watching the PBS special. It's a new version of the American Revolution. Nothing is
Mm.
glossed over anymore. It's like stares you in the face, all the warts, all the crap, the whole thing. And to me that was the best presentation I'd ever seen.
Oh, I have to check that out. And that's on where? PBS?
PBS, yeah.
Oh, I mean, and that's just it, right? That's another thing. All of this stuff, now we got to think Mercury is in retrograde right now in Scorpio. He's been he think you can see the things that are coming up to be understood on whatever level. And he brings up the underbelly.
Yeah.
So whoever created that show that Diana's talking about, there's more truth coming out in the history
Yeah. Yeah,
than we realize.
exactly.
Right.
They draw attention to how the land was stolen.
Mm.
They don't gloss over that crap anymore. And we have Saturn stationing direct tomorrow. And
Mhm.
then on the 29th, we have Mercury stationing direct. So
Mm.
while they're sitting in this, okay, let's shift gears and
Yeah.
waiting for the clutch to
Yeah.
engage,
Yeah.
exactly. And okay, we gotta stop. You can't just
Mm.
power shift everything. You have to be in a lower, you got to be going really, really fast in
Right.
order to try and power shift. And you're not going to go down to first. And when you get down to first, that's starting over. That's the new beginning. So all of this re-examining that we've been doing with our Saturns and Mercury, we get to move forward.
Yeah, because Saturn is our structure, right?
Right.
And we've been reviewing how we want to create our structure going forward now that he knows it's late stage capitalism and uh, uh, things are changing, being reconstructed, in not being destroyed, but there's a whole new way of coming together on that. Pluto went direct first about a month or two ago. Then Saturn is next, and then Mercury comes after that. And and Mercury is going to continue to bring up the underbelly, bring up the things that were hidden, especially, let me put it that way, the things that were behind the curtain, all the sneaky stuff, right? That's
Yeah.
coming up. And Venus is in Scorpio right now, and she's very cautious in Scorpio because she knows that there can be a lot of shady things going on, a lot of underhanded stuff going on. And didn't she just go to the Evening Star today?
Yes.
It was
Oh,
today?
I think it was.
26. I think I have it down as 26. I can't remember everything. But she's going to be the evening star now, or
Yeah.
the
Where,
morning star.
yeah, where she's
Hmm.
much happier.
Evening or morning? Which one
She's
is she
much
happy?
happier as an evening star. She's a
Okay.
party girl. When she's a morning star, she's a warrior princess.
Okay,
Okay. So now she's getting out of Hades.
I got you. Okay.
Right? Now she's leaving the underworld. The underworld is where she is, where we cannot see her. But she's going to be coming back up now, and we're going to be able to see her in the night sky, where we haven't been able to see her for 9 months
Yeah.
because
And
she spent 9 months in
and that
each.
and that's a huge transformation. That's a pregnancy, right?
Right,
Like, think
right.
about it like that. That's big.
Exactly. And then she spends 30 days coming into view. It's like those first 30 days with your newborn.
Yeah.
Everything's fragile. Right.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It really, really is. And and so she's over there, and she is focusing on what she loves and values, but she's being very cautious of the information coming in because it is not. Uh, it, it's pretty raw, right? I like what Maria here. What did you say, Maria? I have core stuff coming up. Yeah. Examine trauma origins, healing, releasing, seeing my power, been awesome. And that's exactly what's coming up, that is bringing us, that is making us so much stronger. It's not pleasant, none of it is pleasant, but at the other end of it, the other side of it, you are so much stronger and in
Like this.
control of you more than you were before. And this is what we're all going through, right? What are we, November 26th today? To let's just go to January 1st, and that's not even really, I mean, that's not, I really like the fire horse. I think it's February 17th is when the year really starts this year. What do you think?
Oh, well, and we because we go into Imbolc at the same time. So we are leaving. We're going into the spring, the early spring months, the beginning of the warming trend. The days will become noticeably longer at that time. And I'm looking at the 29th so I can see it as you see it. Of course, I'm looking on my phone, so I don't have all the same things clicked on. They don't give me the same appearance. But there is so much going on. We still have such a congestion of planets and things in Pisces and in Sagittarius.
And
Right.
even
So
Scorpio too, yeah.
yeah, right.
Um, and what stood out to me on this was, okay, you got the Uranus opposing Venus at 29. Now that's going to be a bit, on the 29th, 28th, 29th, 30th. I would just like, this is all about going inside,
Well,
because
and yeah, and that's the squaring that's coming up.
yeah.
This is going to be, especially when we see Mercury come into a square with Saturn again. This is going to be the closing, the last of it.
Mhm,
This is we're also going into the
mhm,
trend of the eclipses that closed out the year last year with this beginning eclipse in February,
I
right?
mean, so soon.
I
That is
know.
so soon. And then we have on February 20th, we have where Saturn and Neptune meet again at 0 degrees Aries, and they're going forward and they're not going back to Pisces. So February is the month. But again, that's where all the puzzle pieces are being uh, put into place. Some of them, hopefully most of them, but we get better as we go. Like March, April, things start to move faster and in more positive way. But on the 29th of November, that moon is at 1 degrees Aries, and we have all this in fire. We have all the sun in fire too. So we have fire coming in, and you're going to want to, like, kind of like what we're doing now, very animated, very it's in Pisces now. But where's the moon at right now? I'm sorry, Diana.
Um,
I think it's
it's in
Pisces.
the square, right? The moon right now.
Aquarius, that's right.
Yep, it's at it's probably at 20 degrees of Aquarius right now.
I love Aquarius moons. Okay, because they're neutral, right? And then you're gonna go into
Yeah,
Pisces for a couple days, starting probably overnight, maybe sometime,
but
and
he's
then
going
you're
to light up all of that. Once he gets down there, he's going to light up Saturn. He's going to light up
mhm,
the North Node, then Saturn,
mhm,
then Neptune, and
mhm,
then into Aries and sit right there with Cirrus. And what are you harvesting?
mhm, mhm.
What have you done with all of this time?
and
How have you
and
shown your gratitude?
mm, yeah,
Since we are in this period of holiday,
it's very important. to be in your gratitude in all moments. That really is what's moving our energies personally. The more that we are in that vibe. But like, so when the moon is in Aquarius now, then tomorrow sometime, and then the next 2 days, 2.5 days is going to be in Pisces. This is where you get all that dreamy, like the weekend. You're going to be like, might party too much. You might have a few too many drinks. You might, who knows?
Yeah,
You know,
don't overdo. Don't
don't.
overdo. Since we've got 3i Atlas and perihelion with Jupiter, don't overdo.
No. Oh my
But
God.
it's Thanksgiving. Everybody always overdoes.
But it's good to keep it light. It can
Yeah.
go. You know how it is. You get around the wrong thing gets said. Things can get spicy quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially since there's some quincunxes up there too.
Mm, yeah, and all that Scorpio stuff. Is there a? I haven't noticed if there was a finger of God. They've been there pretty much.
On
I think
who? Scorpio?
I
Well, we
think
got
so.
Mercury and Venus coming into play right there, right? They're
Right.
about to have, or did they just get done with their little Kizami? They were,
That was cool. That was on the 24th where they came in at 22
yeah,
degrees, and that was good because she learned, or Venus, right? She learned something. Mercury updated her on something. But now Mercury, don't forget, is retrograde in Scorpio. So
right,
that something can come back around, and you're going to learn more about that same
right.
thing or
And
something else. Yeah,
and they will have another conjunction, but it's farther down the line.
yeah. This is the time though to go in. I mean, this is like, I know Diana and I've been saying this for a few years, but we are right at the end of that 9 year. Now, again, it doesn't end on January 1st, but it is like we are being prepped, right, for our new, because we're creating that new frequency. We're being we're living it, we're feeling through it, we're maintaining it, we're trying to stabilize in those higher frequencies as solar flares come in, and 3i Atlas is floating around, and all these different things come in from the cosmos, right?
Yeah.
It is us learning how to surf. Is basically what we're doing, and as you're surfing, you're decoding. So it's like
Well,
not.
and also the 29th, we have that Uranus and Venus opposite each other,
Mhm.
which is important, right?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a big couple days here.
Right.
Um,
Well, and especially since Sedna is basically still conjunct Uranus,
mhm.
because Sedna's at 1 degree of Gemini, and that's going to be there for 100 years. No,
100 years,
just kidding.
yeah.
Not 100. It's going to be there for several more days because of
Well, no,
Arc. Only
I think
13
you're right.
degrees of Arc, huh?
I think you're right. I don't. I think Sadness stays there.
Yeah,
The
because it's retro.
Uranus.
It's
Okay.
retro. It's at 13 degrees or 13 minutes of solar arc. So uh, she's been at 1 degree of Gemini for how many months now?
Long time.
She was at zero forever and a day.
Hmm.
It takes
And
her years to go through a sign. So
yeah, 11,000. I think it's like 11,000 years to go around the whole zodiac. Uranus is going to get past her.
yeah.
Way. She's not. That's not going to break up for, I would say, at least a year and a
No,
half.
but that Uranus Sedna Dosido is going to be very helpful because what is Sedna about? Release, sacrifice, adaptation, changing course, sticking up for yourself, healing old
Mm.
energies, old wounds from others, things that you've had to hang on to because somehow they always reminded you, we're still here. We're still here. But as year just goes past, that's going to be able to trigger you on thinking outside of the box and how to repair it or how to live with it.
Yeah.
You know, we have
That's reality.
numbers in our lives that
Yeah.
we learn to live with.
That's right.
Because if
That's,
you don't buck up, bucko, you don't go nowhere. You stay in that same place, and that gets you nowhere.
nope. And it's so true. It gets to the point where you accept what happened. Doesn't, you don't necessarily have to forgive, you don't have to forget and all that, but you can accept it for your own sanity so you can grow and thrive in your life. And it's never easy, right? But it's a good point Dinah's bringing up. Gina's Place, any recommendations on what we should be focusing on Thursdays? That's Thanksgiving, Saturn, and Saturday, Mercury going direct. This is okay. They're like we were just saying, they are slowing down and they're stopping, but they don't stop right away. It takes them a good week or two to get where they're going forward.
Yeah.
Mercury about a week. Saturn takes a little longer. But take this weekend because it is a holiday weekend and take it slow. Don't
Yep.
rush anything.
Let
Don't.
me say hi to J-Cat lady, Millie DePrada. My cousin Penny is here. Hello, hello. And Barbara Hartlove is here. They changed, YouTube changed everybody's names again. So
I know it drives me crazy. Pamela, if you want to put a question in, just put it in the chat. We're just kind of talking about the current astrology and the current energies of everything coming in. I mean, look at, oh my goodness, the Schumann. The Schumann's been crazy.
Oh my gosh. Ears were screaming, and then all of a sudden, this year got that deep, deep tone, and it cleared out, and I can hear better. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I've been trying to take a nap all afternoon, and it just wouldn't happen because of the screaming, right? And Hypnicity said George is coming in, reminding reminding her, who has just reminded all of us, 33 trillion angels times 404,000. I can't remember how it goes, to the power of 12.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, George. We can always, I mean, this is big. This is both sides of the veil are working together to raise frequency. So we come into a higher dimension, basically.
Yes, let's talk about the veil, because the veil is not getting thicker. If you can imagine, look at, okay, I'm going to say this. I'm not so fond of NASA.
No.
I am fond of the amateur astronomers out there who are getting fabulous pictures of what is going on with the comets, with Atlas, with Swan, with the one that came and went because it blew up in the sun or something. That only lasted a couple of days. I think maybe 2 weeks. But anyway, the dance that the sun is doing as it spins around and then brings the coronal hole back to the Earth's side and shoots out all this plasma and all of these protons, and these protons that go through the ionization belt and then some of them get a negative charge, and that negative charge messes with our DNA. It is also giving us this upgrade, our visibility, the need to listen. But what we are hearing is the frequency at which this is happening. This is why our ears are screaming. Why we're calling it tinnitus, because we're catching the frequency. I can sit and hear the electricity in the house.
Mm-hmm.
in the wires. I have been doing this for several years, and it started to get bad or extremely noticeable. I want to say probably around 2012, where I could just hear it. The overload was coming. The all the servers,
Mm-hmm.
all the computer plants, not the electric plants, the computer plants. So these are the frequencies that we are picking up, and we're
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
them from outer space because they're coming in on the plasma. They're
And,
floating, sticking.
and
It's molasses is stuck to it.
well, what happens, right? You're right. It's like when it comes in, the solar, it it dislodges the blocks, the pain, the trauma. And as it does that, it brings in higher light codes to your DNA, and it's constantly fluctuating. So we're constantly, either you can be in a lot of pain. It's not comfortable. But that sun is really helping us clear the density off of Earth, the density out of the cells, the density off of Mother Earth. And it's sound, it's frequency, it's your ears. I used to hear like I could literally hear the matrix cracking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know that sound I'm talking about, Diana? And that one that you were just talking about where that deep sound came in your ear, that happened to me today too.
Yeah.
That oof.
Right.
And
All of a sudden, like it was high and tinny, and then all of a sudden it was like a big pan drum. Boom, 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 boom,
yeah, yeah,
boom.
yeah,
The lowest ohm you've ever heard.
yes.
And it
And
just,
that,
I could feel it just opening up,
yeah. And
like
it's
the
helping.
release is here.
Sorry.
No,
It is.
that's,
It does. It's exactly what it does, right? It opens us up. It opens us up. And Pamela's asking what she should be doing right now because she's extreme exhaustion and sleepy most of the day related to what's going on now. Absolutely. Be gentle with yourself. Talk to your team. In grace and ease, show me my next best step. In grace and ease, um, to help me heal whatever is going on. I, it took me, I want to say it took me over the last year and a half. I just started to where I feel like I can, I have the energy to do stuff, but I'm still working on getting my, it's not that I forget things. It's just that I'm not here. Like I am so disassociated from the third dimension that I have to remind myself I'm alive here. Doesn't that, it's like I have to come back and go, wait a minute, where have I been? I don't even know what day it is half the time. Does that happen to you, Dinah?
it's been happening, but, and it's, I know I'm a little preoccupied, but I'm like study, study, study all the time
Me
anyway.
too. That's
If
what
I,
I'm doing.
even if my attention span is so short, I can only do 6 paragraphs over here. It's like in
Hmm.
that 6 paragraphs, I know what the rest of it's going to say,
Yeah, exactly.
so I
Mhm.
stop there and then I move on to something else. But it's been very hard to do that. And I think it's just this upgrade that's coming in. And I know that it's like an overused term. We're upgrading, but we are. I mean,
That's
we
the
don't
truth.
not
Yeah.
stationary beings. We are constantly moving. Every cell in our body, every everything.
It's going
Every
from
7 years, you have a brand new cell throughout your whole body.
right, and it's going from carbon to crystalline. So your body, our bodies, our energy bodies, there's five of them, our physical body is going through so much. We don't really get to see it all. We feel it though. We feel, wow, I feel terrible. I feel tired. I feel I'm in pain. But it does, you do get to the other side of it. Hypnicity, I saw 555 earlier and I actually looked it up. That's pretty cool that you put it up there. Um, Don't worry about the all caps, Pamela. It helps me understand that
Yeah,
it was a
exactly.
question. I like the, it's okay. Uh, and Catherine, how is December looking for us energy wise? That's what we're talking about.
Right? December is going to bring you thinking about your house. So if you've already been thinking about your house, you're going to be thinking about it some more,
mm,
especially
and,
when Saturn gets ahead to that 29 degrees.
and your house is
It's going to be,
everything. Where
yep, he's
you live,
29 degrees of Pisces, and there you got across from him 29 degrees of Aquarius in not Virgo, sorry, but creating his own little what, quincunx, because Aquarius is going to be in at 29 degrees of Taurus.
wait, who? I'm
Saturn.
sorry. Okay, Saturn. Oh, okay, Saturn
Saturn
will
at
be
29, and then Aquarius at 29. I mean Uranus at 29.
okay. That's which rules Aquarius, and that's why I was like, that's what I thought she was saying. Okay, so that
See, it's a thought pattern.
yeah, and that's just it. Like we got all these 29s. Those are the critical degrees. It's the last degree that sign is in. We have zeros, ones. We are at the. It's like you got to see like a big like a safe. You know how the locks move, clicking into place. It takes time though. These are outer planets. This stuff takes time. We've been in this energy full force since 2020.
And we have
And
9 planets retrograde.
we have 9 planets retrograde. We're not going anywhere anytime soon fast. That's why we keep going into February, March, and April, because that's when things will,
Yeah.
you get a breather. You get to see where your team has you lining up to. Where is your space in this world? Where's your home? Like Diana was saying, your home is your body. Your home is where you physically live. Your home is a lot of things. So you want all of those to be in sync with each other. You want a smooth and enjoyable, content home. You don't want to be angry all the time or upset and like I said, all those tweaks are coming in on the safe. I just
Yeah.
keep seeing all these dials like
Yeah.
being
The
turn,
old
turn.
ones too, with the
Yeah,
big bolt goes this way
yeah,
and a
yeah.
bolt goes this way and a bolt goes this way and a bolt goes this way. Yeah.
And you hear it, and it clanks. I
Yeah.
can hear it clanking.
It's almost a bam, not a
Yeah,
click.
yeah. And this is okay. It's okay to be tired and sleepy. It's okay to
And give
take the
into it,
time.
lean into it. You know, the other thing
Yeah,
is that
lean into it. Yeah.
even in warm, sunny all the time climates, there is a slowdown pattern. The earth tilts, it makes the days
Mhm,
shorter. It is
mhm.
winter. It is the time of planning, not planting. It is
Right,
the time of plotting, not producing. So
right.
this is the natural rhythm of human nature to take a pause at this time
Yeah.
of the year.
Winter time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
right. Whether you have a hard winter or you have a Florida winter
Mhm.
or, an
Mhm.
equator winter, you still have a change.
Mhm. And it's important to honor that. We've been, and this is something Diana and I talked about on the Scorpio new moon, the last new moon. We have been conditioned and programmed to be in, this type of society where it's produce, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. How dare you sit still? How dare you? You're too lazy. Now you're lazy. What are you doing? You're not making
Right.
any money.
It's daylight 24 hours a day. How come you're sleeping?
Yeah. So that is hard to, it's hard to remove those voices, but
Yep.
they do not matter. What matters is what your heart in the moment wants. It prefers. They don't even want me to say want. No, no want. What your wish is. I wish to. I desire. I prefer to be asleep right now than go to sleep. I prefer to be researching right now. I prefer to be sitting on the back porch drinking some tea. then do that. Don't let these constructs of this society that has been abusing us for over 26,000 years continue to abuse us anymore. We're the only ones who get to stop that, but we have to be aware that if we've been programmed and
And isn't it strange how that poor Pisces who wants to be spiritual and write poetry and just be Rudyard Kipling or Omar, and I just and it got so out of control with power over the spiritualism.
yeah. But that was a construct too, right? Because I
Ah,
think the powers that be were saying, "Oh, hey, they're enjoying things too much. They're too relaxed. Let's make this a challenging game. Let's make it you have to pay to live here, or you are at home." Now look at that. That is really what is going on in our country. How many countries we see people living out of vans or have no place to
in
live.
the car, or not even, yeah, a tent that has just been
I
burned
mean,
to.
this is horrible, and it doesn't change unless we all stand together and say, "No, I'm not doing your 24-hour, 24/7 grind anymore." It isn't. And look, what do? You work, you work, you work, you work, and then you retire. How many people have you known that retired and can't move or aren't here anymore or whatever? You know, um, because they thought they were going to be able to relax once they could get to this one point in time. Spirit has been asking us, no, you decide. Okay, so here, this I was just having this conversation earlier today. Well, what am I going to do about money? Well, this is where we come in. As the old era closes down, the new era comes in. It is, I mean, Earth does provide everything we need to live. It is man that is, or is it man? I got a question. It's the parasites that are charging us for our water, for our air, pretty much for the air, for the soil, for the food in the soil. They've tried to ruin the soil. Let me say this real quick. Once we raise in frequency, all that stuff gets healed. So don't think that, oh God, it's too late, because it's not. They want the parasites want us to think we're too late. It's too late. It's already past that. It's not, because we
That
can heal
right. That's
it.
our vibration rising above them. We don't have to believe it.
Oh,
We don't
gee,
we don't have to even listen.
that's right. And the more that we listen to what they say, you listen to, and you do the exact opposite. Do go higher. Go. We got to outthink them. When we outthink them, outcreate them, and but it takes a long time for you to say, okay, I'm removing the programming. I'm not doing what I've always been told to do. It takes time for that to get out of your system. It takes rest. It takes eating healthier. It takes nurturing yourself. All these things that we were told that, oh, you don't have time for that. You need to get to work.
That
You know.
this is hypnicity makes a point, and it's very good. She's talking about how patience is a word uh,
Mhm.
heard several times in relation to these times, because it's the one thing that we have been deprived of. I think
Exactly. Yes.
by nature, especially since we are a four-season creature.
Hmm.
We
And
had patience.
and look, they've changed the time zones, right? You got fall backwards
Yeah,
or whatever.
right. Daylight savings, not daylight savings. That's crazy. Stop that.
And they changed the calendar. So
Yeah,
what and thank
from
God
what
this
it
is one of
was to the Gregorian.
right,
Yeah,
and thank God this is one of the reasons why I got into astrology, because I'm like, I don't know what to believe, but I can believe where the planets are right now. I can believe that, right? And I was given, thankfully, from my team, they were guiding me to look at the planets and decode what that meant. and I don't, I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect, but I know what I get for me, and I know how to build up, just like all of you do. You get your information and you build on that once you understand how your team works with you, and
Yeah.
it is all about.
Well, in the coding that I see that, okay, let's look at spaceships. Alien spaceships that always come with these symbols on the side, and nobody knows what these symbols mean. But if you look at sigils, it that's exactly what it is.
Letters are sigils,
And
right?
yes, exactly. And
Numbers.
what do we have? We have a straight line horizontal, a straight line vertical, and a circle and a dot. Those are it. Out of those things, you make a sigil.
That's it.
A dot is a seed of potential. The sun is a circle, but the sun has also got that seed of potential inside. You got a vertical line straight up and down, as above, so below. Well, here's
Mm-hmm.
my horizon that shows you where it is in between the crossroads. You want to make Mars? Here's Mars. But his cross coming off the side of the circle got bent. So it's an arrow.
Mm-hmm. And
So it can go slice through the air.
these are all the symbols she's talking about in astrology. And yeah, everything has, and to me that is the oldest language, right? This
Yeah.
is the oldest language, and it was shapes and sizes and symbols.
Exactly. If you
Um,
could spell, you could read.
um,
But all you had to do to spell was in Ogham. You could do it with your fingers because each one of these lines is part of the letters.
mhm.
If they were tilted and you put your horizontal line there like that, you're looking at whatever letter it is. And so it was done very simply. The ruins are the same thing. They're nothing but
Cuneiform,
sigils.
yeah,
Yeah,
cuneiform, same thing.
uniform.
And
Hieroglyphics, pictures.
uh,
Pictures are words. Pictures can be a whole phrase. Where
and
what we do now is one figure for every letter, and that spells the word. If you've ever heard Welsh, one word in Welsh can be this long.
yeah,
However, that one word that is that long could possibly mean, that town down there that's under the bridge next to the the Gnome Hill, blah,
yeah.
but it,
Well, and isn't that's something that you're bringing up though? Words are spells. This is what we do. So if I tell myself, "Man, life sucks. This is shit. I don't know anything. I'm stupid. Whatever." I don't. I am. But if I tell myself, "Hey, what can I discover today? Come on, Sparkly, my team. I call my team Sparkly. Show me my next best step. Show me something, So I'm always researching and doing things like that. Going into all day, I spent on what's that, Diana? The Hopi prophecy, which is basically what we're living through right now, right? So here we but we're and I was like this. I was so wrapped up in being part of the third dimension, like Pamela here. I wanted to let go, but I didn't know how. Well, you don't. You are third and higher. You're actually second and higher. In
right.
any
and
moment,
and all you got to do is just do you.
that's it. That's what
Just
your
do
team.
you. Reconnect. I, and there is no junk DNA. They are trying to make us believe that that's junk DNA, but it's not. It's the break. That
Mm-hmm.
DNA, we have the power to reconnect that ladder rung, to get it going strong again. And once you remember that, you may have to work at it because we do have one foot in the 3D world with the people who have the greater power for now. But once you do, and once you make it a practice, you raise that vibration where others catch up with you in order
Mm-hmm.
to be in your frequency, in order to be close to you because they like you, because you are offering them what they're seeking.
And that's important that you listen to what Diana just said.
Well, and
You
we,
create your
right,
frequency. You
that's our
create it.
12. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt. That's
no,
our
no.
12 strand DNA, but we all have 12 strands of DNA, and they're trying to tell you that 9 of them are junk.
You're
No,
nothing. You're nothing. That's what they want us to believe, that we're nothing and we're worthless. And the only thing
right.
is how much money you can make, and that's what you're worth. Other
And
than that, you're worthless.
exactly. And once you discover those 12s, you're going to find out you've got 24.
And this happens differently for each of us, how we find our who we are. Like Gina's saying, maybe we're here to help low vibrational people grow. Always, yes. That's what light workers, love workers, energy workers do. I was a low vibration person a while ago, and I mean I was bad. I don't know how, but you can't look at, I don't judge anybody, but I do have a problem with the parasites. It's
Yeah.
the parasites, the reptilians, the heartless, soulless, whatever word you want to give them.
Right.
The ones that have enslaved us is the ones I have a problem with. The ones who created this capitalism, and here we are, late stage capitalism, and they're stealing everything they can. Well, why they think we're not looking, but we are, and it isn't even about their stupid money, because their money is worthless. It doesn't mean anything except for what we all agree. $20 means $20, but it truly doesn't even mean that. It's a piece of paper. It's not, you know. So, but how do we live, right? Because we've been conditioned to be here and to pay bills and to make it. So this is where we're at. We're at the end of an age, end of that cycle, creating that new cycle, which hasn't been created yet. We are going to create that. The parasites are. They have to go. We're not allowing them to create our new reality. That would be ridiculous for us right now,
Yeah,
right?
Millie just said she just got a download on what I was talking about, being the last rung on the ladder with one foot on in both worlds, which is
Mm-hmm.
what's meant about taking a leap of faith. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. And it's so true. And this is, I get, you know what? That statement right there is exactly what this end of this year is. Taking a leap of faith. For you, though, not for because they say, or it's supposed to, or I need to do it because, if I don't look, I don't, fit in if I don't. All of the old construct of the third dimension is going to the wayside. We are remembering who we are and coming into unity with our community, and we're going to figure this out. But right now, it's winter time. We're about to go in and take care of ourselves, and allow that external world that is blowing up as we speak, let it do its thing. And you know you can only, like, I can't save the whole world. I used to think it was my job. It's not. I can't do it, so uh, I can help myself, my family. I can come up here and talk to you all, and we can talk together and have these conversations with Diana, and we can
Yeah.
see where the problem is, uh, and
Well,
find solutions for it. But we're all learning together. I don't know the answer.
Leah says she has a plasma symbol, and that is Sally's buses. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are so right.
What? Say it
Felicity
again.
says her palms tell a story, and that we're here to be light workers. She's right on that.
Yep, yep,
And
yep.
there was one other that I wanted to draw attention to. Ah,
Like that, Maria. Maria, and I got
yeah.
two up here I've been holding on to. Um, and see, Maria's asking, when will authorities take their boots off our necks? Personally, having an HOH stressors, nosy neighbors, and gossiping. Okay, now see, And for the life of me, will never understand the HOA, but there you are, and here we are. The authorities have to, how do they take their boot? We don't allow them to put their boot on our neck. We get together, we band together, and we say, no, we're not doing this HOA thing anymore, which I think will probably happen here within the next 6 months for you. But I don't know for a fact. That's just what I heard. It is going to be a different setup. But at the moment, we're in the old setup trying to understand, how do we grow? How do we get out of this mess? How do we make a better life for myself and my neighbors? And why are neighbors gossiping and nosy? Because everybody's being pushed by the parasites. We all have PTSD. We're all like, uh, we've been pushed in the last 10 years beyond any, I don't know how really how we're all hanging in here like we are, but
We need
we're
we need a T-shirt that says "Quit messing with my spiritual side."
all right. And
that,
get your
that came out
boot
of
off
what
my neck.
Pamela said. Pamela
And
says she wants to let go of the physical and just be spiritual. And you know what? When you are in your spirit, when you are in that happy place where you're living that joy. Let's call it joy. I don't want to call it ecstasy. That sounds too much like
it's
what they
more,
call it, the
yeah,
rapture. And it's not that. It's just being in joy. Your body feels
content.
better because it's not
Yes,
weighted down with all of this energy that doesn't really belong to you. Someone
right.
else is shoving it on our plate and forcing us to eat
Yep,
it.
yep, yep. And we can become content. And I sit here every day and I have the most beautiful life and I'm in awe. Like a spirit just talks
Yeah,
to you. I mean, isn't it so cool? A squirrel. I mean, anything could get.
Oliver.
Oliver had a girlfriend the other day, Diana. He came, or she came. One of them came and got
Well,
the other
yeah,
one.
yeah. That's indigo. I call her.
Oh, oh, cool. Because I mean, he like flew in, or she did, came and got, they flew out, and not like 2 minutes later, there was fog you couldn't even see out of my window.
Those are
It,
that's my friend.
oh,
That's
that's so.
that was Oliver and indigo.
And do you see, that's literally how I live my day. And I'm always in my head talking, or I'm researching things because I'm all about space and Three Eye Atlas and prophecy, Hopi prophecy, or whatever. Like that's just what
Oh
it was
yeah.
today.
I mean, I see
You
Three Atlas as
know?
the Mandalorian, as the Katina,
And it's significant.
right?
It's
When he takes his helmet off, and if we listen to that, when the Katina takes his helmet off, it is because the old prayers are no longer needed. Why? He cannot take his helmet off in front of the uninitiated. So when that prophecy comes true with that, it is because we have been initiated into the spiritual life that we were made to have. We
and
really are spiritual. We're a spirit witnessing a human existence.
mhm.
And
But
when
we're
we keep that in our minds, right?
and we and we're in, okay, if we go by the Hopi prophecy, right, we're in the 11th hour. We're at
Yeah.
the end of the fourth age going into the fifth age. But that doesn't mean like death and destruction. What it means is purification, because what you come into you by being an authentic soul. It isn't about material things. It isn't about money. It isn't about tearing up Mother Earth for oil. And once we all come to that, right, that higher consciousness understanding, which our community is, that's where we come in because we have that solid foundation. We're at the 11th hour. We see the chaos. You're witnessing it, right? But we're not in it. We're not of, is that how you say it? Not of it, not in it, whatever. Um, we're witnessing it, right? We're witnessing it, but we're not entangled anymore. What else did it say? The purification is a filter. We're first breath. What's all this?
I had done a
Uh,
show with Annie Shea on this, and one of the things,
all
you look
this
at
is
all these different creation stories, they're all basically the same thing. Seven
right,
eras of creation has been
right.
narrowed down to 7 days of creation. But we are in these eras of creation. And when we look at the Hopi prophecy, they talk about 5 worlds. But we can also look at the younger Dryas, which was destruction, but not complete world destruction. So let's say that the fire, the the when the what got rid of the dinosaurs when the big asteroid hit the planet Earth and created all this fire. Then creation started again, and then the next time it was destroyed by ice, and then that melted off, and creation began again, and then it was destroyed by water, and then that dried up and started to, and then we went into the second ice age. So there, but that second one didn't bring total world disaster. It did bring some more flooding, but there were, if we look at this as the destruction of Lemuria and then the destruction of Atlantis, and then that would even the score at 7 eras of creation for the Hopi prophecy. If we just sandwich some of those smaller destructive eras that were going on, if we sandwich them into that Hopi prophecy, it all comes out with the same tale. And we are in another shift. We see all these earthquakes, all these volcanoes, all of this sun stuff that is headed in our direction, which the sun is turning, is getting ready to bring the coronal masses back over to this side. We had impact from the coronal mass that ejected an X flare that hit 3I Atlas. It didn't hit us, but it bounced off of Atlas and swung around and came towards us and gave us a little geomagnetic storm. Wasn't as intense as it would have been if it was facing us. But these things are happening up there in that sky.
And we don't know that that won't happen too, though, right? We
Yeah.
don't know that we won't get blasted because would we have 4 X flares last week? Four
Yeah.
Earth
Last
facing
week, 4 Earth-facing X flares.
X
Yes.
flares, and so that
Thank you, Millie.
that jams up the Schumann. That all that energy comes in, right, and it's getting that us to get the density out of us, all of it from all over from lifetimes. And you know as we do that and we become more authentic in ourselves and we're more uh higher consciousness. I don't hate anybody. I don't even hate the parasites. I send them love,
Well,
whatever,
you
but
just
I
gotta
don't
love
want
them
to
where
live
they
with them.
are, right?
Yeah,
We've got to meet them where they are. Otherwise,
right.
you make. Jane Goodall was a perfect example of that statement, because that is exactly how she made such a change with the great,
Mm-hmm.
and how they were tended to. It doesn't mean she eliminated all the poachers, but she got people to support her, and she got people, governments, to change their way of thinking.
And we need to go back to that, right? Because those same governments got infiltrated by the parasites and reverted back and started taking the rights away from the animals and the people, and no water rights. And now they're just going to dump. That Trump is allowing chemicals to be dumped in all our waterways and our food to be sprayed with forever chemicals. He got to be removed, and that I do hope is soon, but. Um, I don't feel like we're going to have to much longer be entangled with them. But you see how we are so entangled with this
Well,
nastiness that they created, and we really, I mean, the only way I feel the only way out of it for humanity is by raising in frequency. Let them deal with their lower frequency whatever that they've created. That we didn't create that knowingly. If we were being told the truth, we wouldn't have knowingly agreed to that at all, right? So they've been messing with us through, like I said, I'll go on about that 26,000 years because it's the truth. We have in every way, shape, or form. So here we are at the end of this, where we're if we go with the Hopi prophecy, they said that you're in the 11th hour. But the fifth age, right, is a state of being. It's not so much that we have to freeze or water, fire. The elements are no longer. You are all the elements. I guess that's how they're trying to say it, right? And you are that
We are.
authentic spiritual being now.
And
Who would?
connecting our spirits with those elements, or just what you're saying,
Yeah, yeah. And
is
I
very.
mean,
And this mass destruction, it wasn't a complete destruction every time as well. You
true.
know, in the first days of creation, the water was all on one side of the earth, and the land was all on the other side, and it was a weeble wobble of rotation until it mixed itself up enough that land masses separated. And when we look at the globe, if you just take all of those land masses and squish them all together, you'll see how Africa fits into South America, and
That's
how
right.
we go right back to putting the
Mm-hmm.
orange back together with land on one side and water on the other. So these
Mm-hmm.
are eras of destruction,
Yes.
things that threw balance into the earth. And if we look at that, is a more positive way of saying it, right? So if
Right.
we look at how we are throwing balance back into the earth,
Right. Right.
what
And
are
that,
we doing to throw balance back into the earth?
and we can do that. We can do that despite what's going on by the words,
Right?
right?
Okay. And what should we be doing starting Black Friday?
No, I'm not buying anything.
Nah, right? We're
I'm not
no
participating.
till the 2nd of December. And
Hmm.
even then, because now everybody's going to push that whole Cyber Week, perhaps take that whole Cyber Week off as well.
I keep saying, and I keep putting it because in my Facebook, I'm very political, so I'm a little bit more spicy about it. But I've gotten to where I'm going to talk about it here because it matters. What they're doing matters. What they're doing, and they're as long as we are acquiescing and not fighting, standing up, and look at, we can tell how many people went to the No Kings protest. We know that most of us feel this way. We just found out 2 days ago that the chat bots were MAGA chat bots. They weren't even originated in the United States. This has all been a psyop. MAGA has been a psyop. Okay, so here we know that they've been playing us. Now we're in the blackout now, but to me, we should go into a general strike where it takes people stop working, stop participating, stop buying. Now that doesn't mean everybody. You only need 3.4% of the workforce for it to make a difference to stop the flow of money to DC, right? And the rest of us can be the support team. They're going to take this stuff anyway. They're going to take it, or we can and just say, you know what? And when they decided nurses and teachers didn't need a degree anymore, I'm hoping they all step outside and say, okay, well, we're not here anymore. We're not participating in it
Or
anymore.
they're all getting overworked and they're all on strike if they're a teamster.
Good. Well, see, and this is just it. Even who is it? Air traffic controllers aren't allowed to strike. Bullshit. Who can tell us that? That's just saying the controllers own me. They own us. Right? And if we don't say no, I'm not owned by you, it'll never end. At least that's how I see it. I just think a general strike on top of the blackouts, on everybody stop working. They're already taking. You see how they're trying to disempower the female, It's all about the females. Any female work, any female jobs, all of this is about, what's that movie called? That show I always see, the red, when they're in that red, um, The Handmaiden's Tale. It's
Oh,
in it's in 2025. That's
yeah.
their plan. This is their plan. They're implementing it, and they're doing it real quick because they know a little bit more than we know, but we know because we're psychic and in decoding energies, that we are at a very specific space in time in history, and their time is limited. So they're trying to cause as much damage as they can before they are no longer in a frequency. But if they can keep pulling us down to their crappy frequency, we're struggling to go up in frequency. It is a choice at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Pamela is asking, and maybe you know, because I don't know which one you're talking about, huh? What are your insights about an object flying through our universe that just split into three parts,
Mm,
traveling same distance apart, and has me wondering what this is? I don't know what
oh,
that one is,
I love that.
unless that was that other interstellar that was discovered
I'm not sure
that
the
only
name.
lasted a week.
I'm going to go back, like when we realized Three Eye Atlas came in, and I was watching Stefan Burns, and he showed at the time they came in, like a few days later, maybe a week. When I first saw it, I don't know if that was July or August. Um, 9 comets came in with it, and it was surrounded. It was encompassing, encircling the solar system. And then all of a sudden we heard about Comet Lemon, and then we weren't really hearing about them. And then 2 or 3 days ago, this one comet, and I don't know if it's one of the comets that came in with him, splits into three. But the minute I heard Three Eye Atlas, I knew it was a sentient being. I felt it. I feel it's a higher consciousness, and I
Yeah.
feel it's here to help us raise in consciousness, because this is this we need extra help at this point with these parasites in here. Yes, it was with Stephen Burns. So the one that went into 3 pieces, and then there was one. Did you see the one he did, Diana, about 3 or 4 days ago with this? It was he called it BB. It was like eight
Yeah.
times or 100, I don't know, 8 times bigger than Three Eye Atlas or something.
Yes, I fell asleep because I was watching it late at night, and I was in bed, and boom, I fell asleep, and in the morning I forgot about it. I
I
had
think
to,
what
oh, because I think it was go to bionic school day, or the
yeah, I
other,
think it was
and
too.
it might have been the next day. The next day I had to go have some tests, blood work and all that stuff for pre-op.
Bye, Millie.
Thank you, Millie. Happy
Thank you,
Thanksgiving to
Millie.
you.
Happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, like we've got to me, this just didn't. We all know NASA is not telling us the truth. We all know that any other national space agency isn't sharing information. We are relying on the backyard astronomers and Stephen
Yeah,
Burns. So
and
it's like,
Stefan Burns, because he's being polite
mhm,
to the Nassau people, and to to the whole 9 yards, and sticking true
mhm.
to his being a scientist, but he's not dismissing any possibility.
He knows that we've been played, but okay. So what is the significance of Three Eye Atlas coming in on our ecliptic plane, traveling? uh, Coming out of, okay, what the crazy thing is, it came out of Sagittarius constellation at 12 degrees, the great attractor. It's going through, and it's going to loop around, and it's going to go back into Sagittarius at 27 degrees, the galactic center.
And we
You
had 3 days of darkness when it was on the other side of Mars.
you can't, yeah, okay, so you can't make none of this
You
up.
can't
So
make
that
this. No, you can't.
It means something. I don't know. Oh, because I
Well,
really.
you know what I think? I think that when the cataclysm hit Mars, that did not hit Earth. When Mars had its cataclysm, there were people who were able to escape and got on a spaceship. And that spaceship has been traveling around. It's not the same people, but it is the descendants of those that were fortunate enough to get on that spaceship. And
Okay.
it's traveled and it has mated with others, and they've all become hybrids and intermingled. And what we see as the outside of this comet are the barnacles on the whale. My dream has me believing that there is definitely plant life on it. The vision of the trees and everything and plants that were growing that I was shown were in from the aerial, from the upper view, because I was looking at that inside, like I was, you know, I
Mhm.
had x-ray vision with my guides or whatever. I was just on the ceiling, but looking down at it to come into it, I could see all the same codes that I have been seeing on the ceiling that Terry and Kelly and Allie and I are doing with our light work in some of my dreams. The coding, the colors, the frequencies, the crystals being used, all of that is coming into play. And then that was the beginning of the sequence of dreams that gave me 1038. And 1038 is in the Boots constellation, and it's up there by the handle of the Big Dipper. And
Mhm.
that is exactly where it came in. They also showed me this tuning fork, and that tuning fork also shows the spinning, shows it looking like a tic tac, shows the Fibonacci spiral coming off of it as it goes through this spinning. Spinning, spinning, spinning. And then it gets to a frequency and it goes over here and then it goes back up the hand. So it is a galaxy. 1038 is a galaxy of its own in the Boots constellation. All
Okay.
of these stars are galaxies. They're, you know,
Now I want to say
billions
this.
and billions and billions.
Yeah, and it goes on and on, right? I want to say this. What Diana is okay. When I went into Three Eye Atlas, it was like it matches you at your consciousness that you are. As it was showing me something that my team had showed me 10 years ago, it was showing me it coming in, and as it's spraying out whatever it's spraying, it is helping to raise the frequency. I think it's a it's got more than one reason why it's here.
Yeah,
I
and
want why not have Diana's
it's
um
anything is possible because
right,
we are not stationary. It is
right.
time is not linear. It is an orb. We live in an orb. And we
And
can go anywhere at any time. You know, we pick a
uh,
time and we're there.
yep.
And what who's not to say those 3 days that he was hidden from the face, from our facing him on the other side of Mars, who's not to say that those barnacles disappeared and ships, lunar landing, Martian landing, went over there to reevaluate whether or not it could be inhabited.
See, I keep seeing it is able to shapeshift. Like it can
Yes,
make itself into another. It looks like a rock going through space, and if that's what you believe, that's what you're going to see. But the the shape of it, the way
it
it's on the
entered.
ecliptic plane, the way it doesn't have iron, it's all nickel, the way it has an anti-tail, it's just got too many things
And
going on. And
plasma.
when people plasma everywhere, and that's what's coming out of it, and that's what's going to help raise the frequency. And
Or
it's
and
traveling all through our solar system. So it's raising the frequency in the entire solar system,
every
and it's
time it goes past the planet, it does something to
right,
enhance that. And
right.
it's due to enhance us on the 19th of December.
I
And
can't wait.
that coma of it,
Yes,
well,
Pamela.
the rays that are going into the sun, this is why it has gotten this greenish cast. What do we see when we look up at the sun? Yellow. Hello. Yellow,
And
orangish. So it's getting this greenish cast because as it came in blue, the closer it got to the sun for our visual purposes, it has gotten this greenish cast to it.
And very few are saying that. Only the backyard astronomers are giving us that information.
Well,
NASA and the other aren't. And we
even
know we knew
well, and now
when.
even Stefan is saying that it has a greenish cast and
Oh,
that
good,
Swan
good.
is taken on those
Yes,
same properties, the color and the shooting rays. They call them something else.
yes,
Jets. The jets
yes.
facing the sun,
Ye-
going towards the sun, not
And
coming off the tail.
and what's coming out of those jets is a high frequency. I just keep getting that now, but it's here doing multiple different things, and it is able to change its shape. It's able to do things that we're not. Oh, we don't know everything. We don't. We just um
Well,
and and I don't want to I don't want to put it in a box and say, oh, it's only here for this or that. But I feel like it is here to benefit, to heal the solar system.
they keep
Maybe.
trying to tell us that cloud cloaking is not going on. Well, when you see 8 clouds in a row that look identical and they all got flat black bottoms, don't think for a minute that those are not cloaked spaceships.
Well, and here we go back to dealing talking about the parasites. They've been lying to us the whole time. Why are we going to believe them now? I mean, it's just ridiculous to even. I wouldn't believe them even if they came out and said, "Oh, here we're sorry. Here's the truth," because they're lying. Okay, so where your consciousness is explains why psychics are getting different things from being a rock to being intelligent.
Right. And
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
upgrade, the upgrade that you were just talking about, yes, Pamela, because she asked a question about it healing. Yes, it is every planet that it has come to, there's been a change on that planet.
And it's going to
And we
be.
already know that Mars has pyramids on it and
Mhm.
that it was occupied at one time. And
And
Venus
water.
is our
Mhm.
sister planet right now, but Mars was once our sister planet
Mhm. Mhm.
or brother planet or whatever you want to call it.
And it's like it is seeding. It is doing. It is elevating the frequency, and that starts by seeding. That starts by the plasma jets coming out of the jets and things like that. Um, I believe it is related to the Hopi prophecy. It could definitely be the blue Kachina who says it won't turn into the red Kachina. It could be all of it. I'm not going to limit it. And I'm not going to limit, just like I'm not going to limit us. We are at the end of an age where there are parasites who are trying to tell us, you don't trust your lying eyes or your, what you hear. And you're just like, oh, shut up, go away. Okay, so we got our core group of people in our community who see even more than the regular person. And no, I'm not judging at all. It just is what it is. Everybody to me has the ability to be psychic, to be intuitive, to be a medium. It is something that we all had to teach ourselves. I mean, yeah, we know it, but you still have to learn how to, how does that work for you specifically. And and here we are as remembering who we are coming together to raise in frequency. And to me, that entire uh, three-eye atlas came at a time where I was really about to give up hope. I was like, I don't know how we're going to get out of this mess, you know. And it came, I guess it was spotted in July 1st, and it has been every day I kind of get a different hit on it, but it's always positive. It's always it's an uplifting, you know. And I refuse to. I guess I'm an optimist at the end of it, and knowing that what my spirit team tells me where we're at and how we're going into the golden age and how we're raising in frequency. I believe that, and but I'll say this: if push comes to shove and things go really wrong with the parasites and you got to be out on the streets defending your rights and freedoms, I will die for my rights and freedoms before I put up with any more of that crap,
Yes, yes, Pam. I believe it is related to the Hopi prophecy.
Hmm.
If you're a Star Wars fan, the Hopi prophecy is what Mandalorian is about, because Mandalorian has the same lives by the same code. This is the way. And what is this is the way? Cannot take your helmet off in front of the uninitiated.
And that, I mean, think about that. Being a heart-centered person, you can see through that kind of stuff now.
Right.
You
I
can.
mean, when the katina ceremonies, the dancers are there. They're all dressed the same, including the the head priester, right?
That's
The
exactly.
highest shaman. Nobody knows. They all dress to look alike. Nobody knows who is who. So nobody knows which one is the shaman from which one is the 18-year-old kid. Yeah, you can tell different body styles, but they're so painted up you can't tell who is who. Because
I
so many people have the same body style. And
and I
so
I think that whole thing is about you are all alike, meaning you're all heart centered. It doesn't, your external appearance isn't as important as what you are on the inside, but I don't know the whole thing. Um,
ethnicity, yeah, we might be walking on the sun. You're right.
that's so crazy. And okay, so Pamela, you said a psychic channel 3i Atlas said said we will see brilliant colors we have never seen before. Already seeing that. In a few days, Earth will be traveling through. Now, this is the cool thing. Earth is traveling through the particles. The whole solar system is. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Those particles are higher consciousness, higher frequencies, and they're going to help us elevate.
Right.
We're also, we are in a part of space. We're spiraling through space like this. And did we just come out of was it the Oort cloud or the other one? We've been in this dent, like it was a 50-year, we were in this, uh, it's not the Oort cloud, it's the other one, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But isn't that interesting?
Asteroid
Because
belt. That's the Oort cloud, isn't it? The asteroid belt.
no, it's another. The asteroid belt is right there. Like Jupiter protects us from that,
Yes.
right? And I mean,
I don't remember. We haven't talked about that in such a long time.
I know. I'm like, there's so much to know, but just know this. Hi, Polly. Good to see you. That we are all. It, okay. What do you, I want to ask you, Pamela? This is the important thing. What do you believe? If you sit there with all this information and go in your heart and listen, what is resonating with you? Because that's what matters. It
Good
doesn't matter
question.
what I believe, you know?
Good question. Do you realize that it's almost 2 hours that we've been on?
I know we got to go.
So
But
before we got started, I had drawn two cards, and I think
okay.
that these are very appropriate because the first one was steering, right? Who's driving?
Oh,
Who's and we've talked about 3i Atlas till we're blue in the face about that, but it is wanting control. It is them wanting control over us wanting our own control.
oh,
So
I love
what does it take to break that cycle and take the controls ourselves? Not the dance, the
that.
focus that a ballerina has, the
Oh.
discipline that a ballerina has, the not giving in to that 3D message.
Yeah.
You need this. No, I don't.
I love that you said focus because that was going to be my main point of tonight. Well, our main point for tonight. Your life is based on your focus. And if
Yeah.
you're going to focus on, and don't get me wrong, I have bad days where I'm like, I'm just over this shit. I don't care anymore. But then the next day I know, or the day after, I come back into myself and I feel better about life. But it is a cycle. It is you're releasing, because remember, we're the light workers, love workers, and um, energy workers. We're the ones who are processing all of these emotions. We're holding space in a place that is very difficult to hold energy, a higher vibration of energy, and they're doing everything they can to knock us off our center, and so we don't focus on love. And so when you feel like that, you just go inside, stick to yourself, take a rest, take a nap, eat. I eat like crazy. I've gained weight. I don't even care anymore. What are you gonna do? We're at the end of an era. I don't know what I'm not gonna sit here and tell myself I have to weigh 100 pounds or whatever. But anyway, I picked two cards and I love this one. It's uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. And there's my dragon with his treasure. Oh,
Yeah.
and that is trust trust the trust your team, trust the oh goodness, like I can't get into it. Trust what you're receiving, trust what you're knowing. I don't, I used to want to hear everybody please say it here, say it like I hear it. I want someone to agree with me. But then when I found out that isn't the point of all this, we all have similar pieces of the puzzle, but we're not all to be on the same
Yeah.
exact page, right? And then I got wandering path. Enjoy the journey.
Take the steering wheel. Yep. It's
Yeah.
your path. There you go.
And where's your focus? Focus on what is your soul is saying, your heart.
Yeah.
It's so important that we focus on what we love and value, and focus on what trust in ourselves. That's the other one. Trust. Trust.
And just because radical abundance is what we're all about.
I love
Rest.
that.
Yep. I love this.
Oh, I love,
Rest, because we all need it. And what do we get? We get back to our oneness instead of the duality.
I
And
love
the
it.
best way to do about it, have some humor.
I love it. Oh my God, those are cute. Where'd you get those ones? Those are adorable.
Maybe Etsy. I think I might have gotten these off of Etsy.
Oh, they're so cute.
They
Those are
are. They're cool. They're very cool.
exactly, Barbara. I choose where I want to use my energy, and treat yourself like a precious. Like I deserve. My team had me go through this for a few months. You deserve opulence. I'm like, what are you talking about? They want you to think in that, like, take the tea, take the tea time, eat a cookie, treat yourself, whatever opulence means to you. But I was having a hard time just being nice to myself at that point. But here we are. We've all come through a lot of stuff, right? A lot of crap. And we deserve to honor our journey, honor who we are, love
Yeah.
ourselves, accept ourselves, and we will be back on the 4th. Is that right, Diana? Is that
I think
next
so.
next week? We
And
will be
yeah,
back.
Pamela, it's a good possibility because,
What
you
is that?
know, the red star, the blue
Mm-hmm.
star Katina and the red star Katina,
I don't.
that's what happens when a star's getting ready to explode.
I love it.
And Beetlejuice is one of those right now.
Oh
So
my God, I can't wait till we see that. I believe that's gonna be in our
talk
lifetime.
about rock my world.
I know it. And that's another thing. How many things are going on out there that are doing something to our energy? So Diana and I will be back on December 4th for the full moon in Gemini. So this is
Ooh,
gonna,
ooh, ooh, ooh,
yeah, this is the
ooh, ooh,
13th,
ooh, ooh.
and this is
And
going to
then
be,
And then we've got that new moon for me
Can't
Everything's for
wait.
me. It's all about me, you guys. Just
on
kidding.
her on
Just kidding.
her on her hip replacement on the 19th. I'm sorry. That's a big moon. That's a new moon. That's a big
It's a
one.
big moon. The whole thing is big for me because
Hmm.
I'm a Gemini with a Sagittarius moon, and my Chiron, my thigh, my wounded hip thigh of Chiron is conjunct my moon in Sagittarius. So it's a big deal for me because the sun is there. And though the sun will be down there at 28 degrees by the time we get to that moon, because it happens at 28 degrees. But at any rate, it doesn't
But the
matter
full
because the moon and sun all have to go over all my stuff anyway. My sun is at 18 degrees, so I was born just at the beginning of the stretch of the new moon.
and that's her. That's like this is the culmination of her healing
Yeah,
journey.
yeah.
So by
Well,
the time we get to February, March, she's going to be like a brand new person. You got to think of it.
and let's
What we're
talk
doing.
about it next week because
Okay.
this would be a good time to help people understand that you can do a chart for anything. It's an event
Okay.
chart, and we can also talk about Saturn returns because it is my Saturn return on another major surgery, and now look, I'm getting another major surgery
That's what I mean. That's her.
in the
And
same
so
direction. Yeah.
her healing culmination is coming through. And just think that like March, April, create the person. We're recreating ourselves. Who do you want to be? Pull in the beliefs and attributes and all the things that you want. We are creating that. Give yourself, I mean, we're all doing it, whether we know it or not. This is what we're doing. We love you, and please reach out to us.
Imelda. Hello, goodbye, Imelda.
If you have any questions, our information is in the description box. We love you very much, and we'll see you on the 4th.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
Happy Indigenous
Thanksgiving.
Day. Happy
I'm
Indigenous.
so grateful. Oh, that's right, Indigenous
I'm
Day.
so glad we had this time together. Bye.
Love you, love you. Be safe out there.